Senibonani Bazali, hello parents. So today we're going to be talking about The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, and what are some of the things that we can use to help our kids learn through the story. This is basically, I think, by a considerable margin, the most complex story that we've included in this list. There's really no clear answers in the story. And it really kind of, it exists in this kind of space of tension where the tree's happy, but the tree is also sad. The tree is helping the boy, but the tree is also hurting the boy. You know, the boy loves the tree, but he also is hurting the tree. I think it's a really, really valuable resource in terms of helping the kids see these gray areas and realize that things are not black and white, and that there's really a lot of kind of depth and complexity in the world. So another big part of this story is there's kind of a story for children, and then there's also kind of a story for adults, for parents. So, you know, the boy is the boy, and the tree in a lot of ways is kind of like a parent. So the tree wants the boy to be happy, but she doesn't do a great job of kind of respecting his need to grow up. So she tends to kind of basically treat the boy like he's a boy, even when he's becoming a man. So we see things like, you know, when the boy comes back, the tree says, you know, come and swing on my branches. He's clearly too old to want to swing on the branches, and nothing that he says indicates that that's what would make him happy. But the tree kind of gets stuck seeing the boy as a boy, and as a result really prevents him from growing up into becoming a man. And again, this is something that I think, if we're honest, a lot of us parents do. There's a huge temptation to kind of overprotect our kids. You know, we want to provide them with everything that they need. And sometimes we realize that in doing that, we kind of rob them of that ability to grow and that ability to develop resilience. Given our current situation in the world, this is a good example of why resilience is something that, you know, kids really, really need, and that we as grown-ups are going to need to develop very strong resilient skills when we're the heads of households. So I think Shel Silverstein's done something really interesting here. He's speaking to the children, but he's also really speaking directly to us. And then again, I think the message for the kids is much more heavy on the side of, you know, don't be a brat, appreciate what you're given, don't just come and demand things. But I think it's also important that the kids are being exposed to that message for the parents as well, and that they're really seeing that, you know, something like giving and taking, they're an interdependent thing. So, you know, we all want to give, we all want to be supportive, but if we give too much, then we really hurt people. So we as Thanda, we're an NGO, and so this is a big part of what we do. We're trying to support people, we're trying to build people up, but at the same time, if we treat people like they're children, we're not actually going to help anything, and we may actually end up hurting people. So yeah, I think it's a really important lesson in terms of respect, and in terms of, seeing that something like respect isn't always so simple, not exactly as cut and dry as some of us would like it to be. And then again, like so many of these other books that we've taught, it's really, really helping the kids to kind of read between the lines and fill things in for themselves. So the story keeps calling the boy, and it's really asking the kids to look at the pictures and say, wait a second, that doesn't look like a boy, and then asking them to go the next step and say, why did they say that? What's Shel Silverstein thinking by describing this person that's clearly a grown-up as a boy? What can I get out of that? And so it's, again, really priming the kids to read between the lines and really start to kind of, see what might be going on behind some of these kind of surprising things in the real world. So again, it's a very difficult book. A lot of, professional teachers have had a really hard time teaching this book, and a lot of parents get really uncomfortable with the kind of hazy moral message of the story. again, another kind of, key element to this story that I think is really important for us as parents is we want to really be comfortable with, not only giving the kids the right message. So, like, if we think about the hat books, I think they're another good example, the John Clausen hat books. The characters aren't acting as positive role models. Shel Silverstein is not asking our kids to behave like the tree or the boy. And so, yeah, I think it's important that we be comfortable with the fact that some of learning isn't always copying what people are saying, but seeing that people are making mistakes and consciously being, kind of aware of trying to avoid those in our own behavior. So yeah, not an easy one. So good luck. Hope you guys have fun. And yeah, remember that we've got activities on our website at thanda.org that go with the story to make the learning experience a little bit easier for you guys. Cool. Thanks. Bye.